want to enjoy your life, you know? Like, what is the point of being alive and being taken care of if you're not going to actually do the things that make you feel the best and make you feel the most alive? Guys, I love this candle so much. It really does smell like rosé, and I love it so much. So, today I wanted to tell you, now that you're provided for, how do you decide what to prioritize in your life? So first, you are going to want to do an in-depth analysis of what you hope to accomplish in your life and how you want to feel. So these need to be two separate categories. So, because how you feel is how you go through your day by day. Like, what is something that you want to prioritize? And I understand if you've been in survival mode for a long time, this is not going to come very naturally at first, and you're probably going to feel a lot of guilt about enjoying your life. You're probably going to feel a lot of stress about not working, or wasting your time, etc. I want you to know this is just your body telling you, hey, by the way, we're not comfortable with this new relaxed lifestyle, okay? There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a part of what happens when you have to transition out of survival mode and into thriving mode. So first, you are going to want to decide what it is you hope to accomplish in your life. This goal can be as big or as small as you know it to be. But ultimately, women, we typically have a harder time having a strong sense of self. And so I want you to figure out who you are. So journaling exercise, grab a notepad. I have a notepad here. I really should have gotten my whiteboard out, but I didn't. Get yourself a notepad and get yourself a pen, and you're gonna start writing. If you don't know who you are, this is for you. If you are not sure where to begin, here's where you start. You're gonna say, I like X. I like Y. I like Z. For example, I really like nature. This has been a constant throughout my life. I love being in nature. I love flowers. I just cannot get enough of it, really. Another thing I really like, I like girly outfits. I like wearing makeup. I like cute shoes. And so basically, what's going to happen is you're going to have days where you don't feel like yourself, because once again, we don't have a really strong sense of identity all the time. So you're going to draw on these experiences of things that you have liked throughout your life consistently, and you're going to say, this is who I am. And the thing about it is, men typically have a much stronger ego. They are typically born that way, and they know things. This is why men tend to have more audacity when it comes to things, and we don't. Because we think that we just don't know ourselves well enough, or we don't feel as certain of who we are as they do. Which is true, we don't. Usually, we have to work on it. We have to choose it. We have to create our identity. The thing about women is that we have such a spiritual connection that we really can choose who we are. And men don't really have that same experience. So we get to choose who we are. So it's very important that we choose well. So I like to look at my childhood and pull things that I know I loved then and I still love today. And then I just keep building on that, and I just keep building on that. And so when I'm in doubt, when I'm going to a social if I'm going to a social event or something and I need something to talk about, in case, people are going to ask me, well, who are you? What do you like? Things like that. It's important to have something that you feel proud to share. Personally, I will say I'm an artist. And I only started painting about 3 or 4 years ago now. And you can see all my art on the wall behind me. I have a lot more art on that wall over there, but I'll show you some other time. So I really love to say I'm an artist because I really feel a strong sense of self with that label. And it always, you want to say things that are going to add to the conversation, right? Because now you have more time to go make friends and have good conversations. So another thing you're probably going to want to look into is how to have really good conversations, how to be charismatic, because yes, it's a skill. It's not just that people are born with it, although some people naturally understand it. Charisma can be learned. Elegance can be learned, right? So I want you to figure out who you are and what you like. That's going to be very important. And then I also want you to think or consider that these responses that you might have to what other people are living, these can be really good indicators as to what else you might desire. So this can go into your goals for life or your dreams for life, however you want to define that. I call mine dreams. I don't call them goals because I've burnt out the part of me that likes to accomplish goals. I used to love it, and honestly, my heart's just not in it anymore. So now I have to restructure my language in order to make myself feel like I want to participate. So just be aware if you find yourself feeling a little twitchy about specific language that I might use, it might be because you were burnt out on that. I understand. And that's who this content is for us burnt out women who are now trying to get out of this and into thriving, okay? So I want you to notice your responses to people who are doing things that you might not have thought you were jealous of, but you're feeling really jealous. That's a huge indicator. But you're gonna have to suss it out a little bit, because sometimes when I feel jealousy, it's not like, when I think about it logically, I start breaking it down and I go, this doesn't make sense because I'm not actually jealous of this. So then what is it that I'm jealous of? And I break it down as far as I can, and then I try to work on the part of myself that is jealous of that one aspect, because it usually isn't the full picture, right? Like, you might see someone who's doing better than you, we'll say, because that's how our brain speaks to us. And they might have one thing that you're really jealous of. And maybe the rest of their life you're not even that jealous of. You don't care. You don't want that. So go deep into the thing that is really just like a thorn in your side. You're just like, why can't I have that? Why can they have that? Work on that. And that's going to give you so much insight into who you might desire to be. And then there's this other flavor of jealousy that I want to talk about, which is when you're envious of someone's specific body type. So let's say I was jealous of someone who was very small, very petite, very lean naturally. Maybe someone who didn't have full breasts and could actually wear like these beautiful slinky tops and just, never ever worry about support. Things like that, I think it's important to reframe what it is you're jealous of. So instead of saying, I wish I was like that, I'm gonna need you to find reasons for why you think your body type, your hair color, your eye color, shape, etc. is the best thing in this world. Because there are things that we can change, for sure. And there are things that we would just feel so much better if we accepted who we are and we started loving who we are. This is actually my natural hair color. A couple years ago though, I was just going through all the hair colors. I had blonde, black, pink, blue, purple, green, and like a mix of the pink, purple, and green. Blue, purple, and green. I had like all those mermaid colors for a long time. I also had red hair for a while, and I had so much fun, and I just felt like I was customizing my avatar, and it was wonderful, and I really enjoyed it. And then at some point, it just no longer resonated with me to change who I am. And I really started accepting everything about myself, just like radical acceptance, because one thing that's easily absorbed by us in our socializing upbringing, or in our socialization when we are being brought up, it's so easy, and it's so prevalent for women to say how much they hate their own body, or they hate something about themselves, so on and so forth. I'm going to need you to work very hard on retraining your brain to be kind to yourself. This may take some time. I understand a lot of us have come from pretty conservative backgrounds, and my family still is in a cult, and my mom never wore makeup as long as I knew her. She only wore the very conservative dresses that were allowed, and she just had no strong sense of self or self-expression, because in order to express yourself, you need a self first. And so I was just always around women who wish they were skinnier, wish they were prettier, wish they were X, Y, Z, whatever. We've all heard the excuses. So I think the best way to just get it over with, accept everything about yourself. And once you can look at everything that you are with love, I don't mind if you want to change some things. There's plastic surgery, there's hair dye, there's makeup, there's all kinds of stuff, right? And I'm not here to tell you don't get it. But if you're getting it from a place of, this reflects who I truly am and how I really want to present myself to the world, like this is who I am, like, then yeah, you're in a good spot. But I want you to feel good about it. And if you end up doing things from a place of resentment, you may, once you're accepting yourself, you may end up looking back and just feeling so heartbroken that you were so cruel to yourself. So just practice a little bit of, a lot of kindness and a little bit of subtlety, really. Like, I understand when you really want to go through big changes and you want to chop all your hair off and you want to just change completely who you are because you no longer identify as the person who's looking back in the mirror at you. But once you're in this thriving mode, what's really gonna be super important for you is to go slow and really see what reflects you. There's no reason to rush. There is no reason to quickly get something over with, you know? And you want to enjoy your life, you know? Like, what is the point of being alive and being taken care of if you're not going to actually do the things that make you feel the best and make you feel the most alive? So, that being said, let's talk about more things. So something else that you might want to prioritize now that you have the time, a couple things really. It's your physical wellness. And this means you want to have plenty of sleep. I don't care what your sleeping hours look like, but you shouldn't have an alarm, I believe, if you're not driven and passionate about something. Unless you need that alarm to, go to your doctor's appointment or whatever, I understand that. I don't have an alarm anymore. It took me a long time to get used to being lazy and letting myself sleep in. When I broke my leg, I went through this period of time where, I was on pain medications, I was, on crutches, and everything was super weird. But I was transitioning out of working my 12-hour night shifts as a nurse. And then I broke my leg, and it was just an abrupt change to everything. And then we moved to Italy almost as soon as I could walk. Like I broke my leg in December, and we moved in July. And I think I started walking in like May, June timeline. And so I was barely walking by the time we moved. And when we moved there, I couldn't get a job. I wasn't fit enough to get a job. And we had this house by the sea, and it was wonderful. And I was just frustrated every day, and I just didn't feel like I didn't have any passion for any specific thing. And I noticed that for myself, I really, really like to have some project that I'm working on, at least one, maybe several. And then I also like to have an overall kind of plan for my life of like things I would like to accomplish. Now, it's not like I have to accomplish them or I'm a failure. No, it's just for fun. It's passion projects, really. But during this time, I was just so lost. And I just had this overwhelming feeling of I should wake up earlier, I should do more, I should be doing more, I should be doing more. And it was insane. And so I really, I was setting alarms for myself so I could wake up for what? I don't know. I was really struggling to transition, and I didn't realize that's what was happening when it was happening. So I'm hoping I can share it with you. Maybe your transition can be a little easier, a little smoother, and a little funner. So make sure you get plenty of sleep. Make sure that you're eating healthy food. Like, get your fruits and your vegetables, please. Drink lots of water. When your gut is happy, your mind is happy, and the more processed food you eat, the more it can mess with your hormones and stuff like that. So get your fruits and your vegetables in, and also they just make me feel so abundant and so happy, because the healthiest version of me loves eating fruits and vegetables. And so I definitely recommend that. You can take vitamins as well if you want to just make sure that you're, every day you feel the best you can feel. And I would really, really recommend that you either go to the gym or you have some type of workout routine. So when I was living in Italy and I couldn't go to the gym because my leg wasn't strong enough for me to do my preferred heavy lifting routine, I tried walking, but walking was still kind of tough. I learned that I really love doing yin yoga. And I'll link down below the video that I really love. And when I started with doing 30 minutes of it, it felt too slow and it took too long. Now I slow that video down by 0.5% or 0.5 speed, and I make it last an hour. It's that good. So if you're looking for something active to do that'll slow your brain down and also stretch your body in a loving, compassionate way, that is the perfect thing. And so when we moved to Japan, which is where we are now, we were in Italy for 2 years, and now we've been in Japan 1 year. So we're 3 years later since I've broken my leg. Well, my leg is much better. However, there are still some ligaments that are slow at catching up to my weightlifting routine. So it has been testing my patience to kind of figure out how to go back to the gym in a way that works for me. So I was trying to jump back in. I was trying to set all these expectations, and I was going to work out 4 days a week, and I was going to do this, this, and this, and I had all my workouts written out and everything. But I realized that I'm not there yet. I don't know if I will be there. And so I really had to meet myself where I'm at, which is, yes, I can work out, but I can't go super hard, so it can't be super strenuous, and it can't be too much repetition. So like 2 weeks ago, I think I only went to the gym 1 day. So you really have to get yourself to do some workouts, because I don't know about you, but I really find my fiery energy at the gym, and I really feel like myself when I'm in that zone. So I recommend that you go to the gym, even if you don't love working out. I do. It's still using your body in a way so that all your happiness, endorphins, and hormones can be all regulated, and you can feel really good. And that's the point of this thriving, survival to thrival. So if we're gonna go from surviving to thriving, there's a couple things that we need to practice, right? And so I think if your mind and your body are clear and limber and online, there's a lot of things you can have pleasure in. And so then that leads us into what kinds of hobbies, interests, any type of activities really would you be interested in doing? See if there's any local groups that you would like to be a part of, and I'm sure you can just test run it. There might be like coffee shop meetups, there might be book clubs, there could be piano lessons that you want to take, dance classes, painting classes. There's so many things you can do. And if you don't feel like going out and trying things in front of other people, I learned how to paint from YouTube. My leg was broken. I wasn't going anywhere. So I just spent a lot of time on YouTube, and I would just watch things that interested me. And then when my inspiration got to the point where I couldn't not paint, then that's when I started buying everything I wanted to make what I wanted. And as you can see, my work has gone from palette knife painting to piping and all types of elaborate works. So I think that's a good spot for us to end our video today. I hope that this was helpful for you. Please Don't forget to do the journaling exercise. I think you'll find it quite handy. And what I want you to remind yourself, this is an affirmation for you. I deserve it. You deserve it. We deserve to live good lives. And your suffering is not helping anyone. So if you can remind yourself that you deserve to have a good life every time that anxiety that you're not doing enough starts popping back up, I hope you can soothe yourself into a place of, it's okay, it's going to be okay, I can get better at this. Because please don't beat yourself up if you don't get everything right the first time around. You will have that anxiety for a bit. It does take time. Look at this, your whole lifetime. You've already been in survival mode your whole lifetime. It's a big shift, and I'm very proud of you for trying something new. So remind yourself, you deserve to feel good, you deserve to have a good life. Lots of people are living good lives. Why not you? Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Also, if you want to buy this candle, it's from Sorrelle Ricci. It's a girl here in Japan. She makes it, and I really need to order a batch of these because they smell so good.